What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Loki. His name is Joe. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Poseidon, shaking things up for game number 3 as well. His name is Shadowfax. This is the 9th 10th place consolation prize for the Champions League tournament. A great series thus far. Shadowfax's Norse proving a little bit too strong thus far for Joe as he's decided to change things up and go in with the Loki here. Obviously, Shadowfax feeling that maybe Norse on this map is not going to be his best chance at beating Joe's Egyptian, deciding to go with Poseidon, which is, by all rights, an incredibly strong pick against both Isis and Set, and also to a big degree Ra as well. So Shadowfax trying to get that counter pick for this map, but Joe says no, and he kind of reads it in a big way, picking the Loki. Technically speaking here, Loki does have the advantage in this matchup. The Hippocon and the Herser, those are the big ticket units in this matchup, and they basically trade equally. But Loki gets myth unit spawns, so, and the Norse economy is better. So, it ends up being advantage Loki if all things are set and equal. There's always possibilities to outplay. Micro comes into the game. Myth unit spawns being a little bit rubbish, like some troll spawns where you want Valkyrie or Ioniar spawns, all that kind of stuff can be a little bit difficult. We'll see how things go. Relics have been uncovered. We do see the head of Orpheus, I should say. +8 building line of sight. I like this relic. This relic's really nice. Why do I like it? Because it makes my walls have extra line of sight, I believe. Another relic uncovered. The Eye of Ornlu. This one will be huge for Shadowfax to pick up, because it means he's going to be able to get even more value out of his Paspist. But technically speaking, this relic here is one of those relics that just, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, you build counter infantry to kill infantry. You're already doing a crap ton of damage. And if you add a tiny bit of damage to a crap ton of damage, that's still a crap ton of damage. Equally, a tiny bit of damage, adding a tiny bit of damage to a tiny bit of damage is still going to be a tiny bit of damage. So it doesn't really even help you with the counter infantry versus the non-infantry units. So it's just like, while of course you want to pick this up, it's going to give you a little bit of extra damage, yay. It doesn't change anything. It's not a game-changing relic. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's not like even you give a Toxote an extra 5% damage. That feels great. That feels great. But yeah, that's my story. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I've been Boit, and I wish you well. As we see, Forceti and Ares coming through here for Shadowfax. Ares coming through for Shadowfax. It's been a while since we've seen this. One of the scariest things for Loki to deal with is an Ares rush against Poseidon. This is a great idea. He's got the forward villages. I wonder if we're going to see Shadowfax go for some melee units here, not actually go melee units, some infantry units here, not actually go for the stables in this game. Idea being, what? Well, hoplites are really good. They build fast, get good damage done, all the good stuff. The problem here, though, for Shadowfax is there's hunt on both sides of the map. So he kind of has to build in the center here for the most value, so he can quickly maneuver from one side to the other to cut Joe off of hunt. And we do see stables. No real surprises here from Shadowfax. Stables obviously going to be something he wants to be building as the Cyclops going to be moving forward. The Katoskopos trying to swing around here. It gets sniped. Good snipe there from Joe as he builds his longhouse. The longhouse and the temple are actually in range of an Ares pestilence here if he uses it right in the middle. as you do see the Cyclops wandering forward here. Hippocon starting to come in. And the answer here for Joe, every single time against Ares, is going to be put extra longhouses down. Just put extra longhouses down. Retreat back into your base if you need to. Don't take fights. Call it a day. As we see the Cyclops coming in. Urso does pop out. Joe getting a lot of value here. Well, a lot of training time out here as the game continues along. Shadowfax retreating back with his Cyclops as the Hippocon moving forward. Good amount of damage going to be able to come through here for Joe, but Joe, he needs to realize he's got to be a bit careful here. As we do see the Pestilence dropping onto both of those temples, hitting both those units just at 99% as well. Is Joe going to drop down the Longhouse on the back? And the thing is that this Ares, it does a couple of things. So one, obviously, it stops the Hersa from being trained, but two, forcing out the extra Longhouses slows down Hall of Thanes, which is a big thing as well. But then again, we are still seeing Joe able to get himself this hunt over here. Hippocon going to be hitting a little bit of a raid, as Joe can take the fight ever so slightly here. I wouldn't mind seeing watchtowers get built here, to be honest, for Joe, as the Hersa gets taken down on this position. Meanwhile, villagers getting cleaned up over here. Joe not paying attention. He's about to lose 2 villagers. 2 villagers at 6 minutes and 17 seconds is absolutely huge here, as now Joe's starting some Ulfsarks out, getting himself the Hersa out. Another villager going to be going down here as well. Oh, no, the Hippocon decides to change targets. Shadowfax smartly says, no, you kill the low HP one. That's how you do it. And he does manage to snipe that one as well. Great micro, great awareness. And Joe now down to 16 villagers. Oh, 25 to 16 at 6 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. Joe can get himself now Hall of Thanes out, but he's got no food income. He's in his main base. Shadowfax has found himself a huge advantage moving forward into this game. As Joe says, it's time to attack. Can he win this fight with this Ulfsark flood? He's got the Hersa to take out the Cyclops, but the Cyclops here, if it can get in onto an Ulfsark and immediately pick one of those off, great micro thus far from Joe. The Cyclops does manage to... No! Great micro yet again. He runs away from the Cyclops, managing to win that one. The Troll getting taken down there as well, as the Cyclops does end up falling. But in the end here, Joe cannot win that fight. Medium Hippocon ends up being too much. The population advantage ends up being too much. Let's actually take a quick look at that and see exactly what the story was there. Joe and Shadowfax in that fight here, we don't actually get to see it. It looks like Shadowfax actually had more units than Joe, 10-ish. I don't even know. That doesn't seem accurate in the slightest. But a solidly executed Ares rush, and Joe just felt like he didn't have any opportunity but to try and win a fight. Decided to go for it, and Shadowfax wins the game, cleans the series up 3-0 in commanding fashion here. Really solid play. Would have loved to have seen both of these players in the playoffs, but unfortunately they didn't quite make it in, and the players who did get in have all performed admirably. So it's just a matter of the top 10 at this moment for the Champions League, for the players playing Age of Mythology, is so absurdly high. You just can't get all of the best players into it. And it just turns out that this is what we ended up with. And a well-played game by Shadowfax, a well-played series by both. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.